Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn, and today we are checking out Monster Hunter Rise. Now, Monster Hunter Rise, it's been out for a while. I think it actually released in 2021. Is that right? On the Nintendo Switch first, and then maybe it was 2020, and then it was 2021 that we got it on Steam. We'll find out. It's going to be in the video at some point. We'll get that information, right? So it initially released on Switch. It was the first Monster Hunter game after we had Monster Hunter World, which was incredibly successful and aided in the complete revitalization of Capcom as a company. And Monster Hunter Rise, there was a lot of initial eyebrows raised and questions about it. Thank you, Athena, about what it would mean since it was releasing initially exclusively on the Switch. Monster Hunter World was on modern consoles, right? It was on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and it was on Steam, and after Monster Hunter had such a storied history of being locked onto portable handheld devices, getting that big expansive Monster Hunter in World was really impressive. And then people were concerned about what it would mean for Monster Hunter Rise, given that it was going to the notoriously underpowered Nintendo Switch. And while I do know that it was better received when it found its way onto Steam, there was some things when it came to that limitation that it couldn't completely escape. But it is continuing its journey of release, essentially, because we are now seeing it going to be available on Game Pass. So if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you will have access to Monster Hunter Rise. It's also just going to be on PlayStation 4 and Xbox as well, after initially being on Nintendo Switch and Steam. So we're going to go through a bit of the history of Monster Hunter Rise, the trailers, and the marketing available for it. And so let's go ahead and go all the way back to... This is September 17th of 2020 when it was very first announced. So, let's begin. I still haven't played Rise. I do own Rise, but time is limited. I have also watched a bit of Rise gameplay. Heck yeah. Yeah, a couple of major mechanic changes that we got was, I don't remember the name of the dog, because the cats are called calicos, right? And the dogs are calipups or something along those lines. Feel free to correct me, or maybe they'll probably tell us at some point in these. And then the wire bugs, giving you a lot of different utility and mobility in terms of gameplay. The wire bugs basically turn everyone into an insect slave, sort of.
It's been 50 years since the last calamity. That monster is known as Magnum Hollow.
Take this! After it! Got it. You're done for! Have a taste of this! This is for my fellow hunters!
Neat. Yeah, I did play Monster Hunter, oh, they even have the release date in here. I did play Monster Hunter World. I didn't finish Monster Hunter World. I did have a small issue with it in that it was just really, really grindy at times. I know that Monster Hunter Rise, a lot of people were really, really happy with it because it did add so many quality of life changes from World into Rise. And I know a lot of people are really hoping that when we get Monster Hunter World 2, or whatever the next mainline Monster Hunter game, that they're hoping that it'll be like World, essentially, and that it'll be larger, a more refined graphic art direction, to where it's not limited by the Nintendo Switch hardware, and the more expansive world and stuff, but with a lot of the quality of life changes that were available in Rise. only played it on the Switch. How does it play on the Switch? I've definitely heard some people complain. Of course, I feel like a lot of us complain about the Switch in general. And did you play it solo or with a group? Owl! Cat's like, I'm gonna eat this fish if I can just get it in the kitchen. Don't have a basis for comparison, but it ran fine. Played it with Shay and Jazzy. Okay.
Stay awake.
The monster designs in Monster Hunter are always super fun. Is that fruit that it was throwing?
I think it's time. We paid a visit to the stronghold. We have to protect the village.
This dude's like Hayachi's, like, more together uncle.
Huge pack of monsters in a giant stampede. They attack the village in a frenzied rage. Nobody knows why this happens, but it came close to wiping out our village last time.
All of us, everyone in Kamura, we've all been training for this moment for our entire lives.
We need you to protect Kamura Village.
Hayachi meets Wolverine. Solid. Solid, yeah. Monster Hunter Rise. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so this is the Wyvern riding trailer. This was the other unique mechanic that was added into Monster Hunter Rise. You're able to ride the monsters. I don't believe you can do so permanently. I think it's only part of a combat mechanic. And you can use them to fight other monsters and also, like, drive them to, like, headbutt into walls and stuff.
Leave all your buddy needs to me.
Cute. Yeah, I played Insect Slave in Monster Hunter World. It was so much fun to just jump around and stuff. With the wire bugs, I might actually be able to play something else because you have those movement options available to you. Problem is, I definitely feel that Monster Hunter is a lot more fun with friends. But it's also a game that struggles really bad if you all don't progress at the same speed. That thing is horrifying and disgusting, and how dare you make it?
Let's do this. This is gonna be good.
Yeah, see, fighting with the monster. It's cool. This is still Switch footage, and you can see the Switch struggling a bit. Hi. Like to be friends. I don't think you want to be friends. Fighting on monsters is really dope. Yeah, I believe it. You'd feel so cool. Like, the wyvern riding would just make you feel like a badass. Like, you're gonna tell me you're not gonna feel awesome using your wire bug to grapple onto a Rathalos and just wreak havoc with it? I saw people trying to fight this thing, and they were having a very hard time. they were having a very hard time fighting whatever this thing is. All right, so next we have the Rampage trailer. So we've moved from December 10th to January 7th of 2021, and now we are at February 17th of 2021, just before launch. That was cool. Ew. You're disgusting. You're really cool, though, at the same time. That was some really neat cinema,
Elder,
cinema
I
shots.
have important news.
So it's finally beginning.
Go assemble the villagers. 50 years ago, Kimura village was attacked by the Rampage and Magnum Malo. And we suffered some devastating casualties.
How can we fight against that?
Our hunter's about to face the biggest challenge yet.
Oh.
Give him a
Oh.
warm welcome.
Very well.
Damn it! We can't lose this game. Pull yourselves together.
You're not getting in!
That was sick.
Do not give up! You can do it! We're in this together!
Get out of here!
Go rampage somewhere else!
You listen to me now!
Here it comes! Watch out for the apex! Do not let it pass!
The rampage. How long do you think it's going to last?
I imagine a couple hours. However long it takes us to really chop through some of these enemies. Everything on the end here that we're not playing is just like pre-order bonuses and stuff, by the way. All right, so this is the launch trailer from when the game did launch, as Athena said earlier, in March of 2021.
This is for my fellow hunters! Let's go! After it!
Yeah, the wire bug is really cool. So many just fun ideas, right? Like, it definitely feels like when they were going into Monster Hunter Rise that the Capcom team was just like, you know, like, so people would be throwing out ideas, and if the idea was fun, they were like, yeah, fun is good. We like fun. That was one of the other things, right? Is that the wire bug, you would have to decide whether you wanted to use it for movement or use it for those silk bind attacks, right? Because you only had, like, they did replenish themselves, but you had to, it was on a delay. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure you can take on that, you know, it's fine, I'm sure. Okay, so now we move after release. So Monster Hunter will often have title updates. They're normally free, And they're just big updates to the game that you get for free, right? Which is super cool. But most of the Monster Hunter games, at least I think the last 2 or 3 at the very least, have had essentially like big expansion drops. Monster Hunter World was called Iceborne. Monster Hunter Rise gets Sunbreak. So this is the teaser reveal for Sunbreak. Movement is really good in Rise with the zip bugs and the mount movement. It feels solid. Yeah, I've heard that just so many quality of life stuff in Rise versus World it makes Rise really fun. Just Rise struggles because it was developed for the Switch first. And the PC versions do help. Man, that just looks like Ripley from Metroid. It doesn't necessarily now. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. And it released in summer of 2022. And then, at what point did it actually finally make its way onto Steam? I'm going to check real quick. Steam Monster Hunter Rise release date. Because it made it onto Steam in January 12th of 2022. So it was like 9 months later. So this Sunbreak trailer was at the end of 2021, so it hadn't quite made its way out on PC yet. At this point, for the Three Lords trailer for Sunbreak, it was out on Steam. This is March 15th of 2022. It had been on Steam for about 2 months at that time. Hi. Looks like it's going well. You know, I gotta give it to the hunters in Monster Hunter. They get their fucking ass beat, and they just, like, keep getting back up. Your hunter is durable as all get out. Those little palicos running around with like glasses and suits on.
I present the hunter from Komura.
Humble greetings.
All right, everyone.
Please don't. Here, I'm merely a quest receptionist.
I'm a quest giver, damn it. Don't kneel to me. That was I'm a quest receptionist. That was cool. Were they called Palamuts? Because it's Palicos and Palamuts. Is that what their name is? Or Palamute? Palamute? Because it's like a Malamute, but it's a Palamute.
I sense something odious.
Hi, you're scary as shit. You know, I will say, though, that while Monster Hunter Rise struggles in some ways, the actual, like, in these, like, cinematic moments where you're getting, like, a more refined character model that isn't part of, like, the little gameplay sequences and stuff, to where it's definitely been scaled down a little bit for the sake of operations, these character models look sick. This is so cool looking. Like, I don't necessarily need the next Monster Hunter to look like Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World was definitely trying to be closer to like photorealism, and I think it does a really good job with that. It had some really high quality texture work, but this stylized art direction a full game, but on a higher quality scale. I mean, these textures on this character model, it struggles a little bit. It is Palamute, okay. These textures are struggling a little bit, but in a general sense, this looks super cool. I just wish it was more consistent in its art direction. All right, so now we're moving to June of 2022 for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak: A New Frontier. I also feel like Rise emphasized group play a lot. Be careful immediately gets like horn speared by the enemy. Holy shit! Did you see that crab just anime block all of those attacks? It's happened like 3 times, Prinny. Be careful proceeds to get bodied. Here it comes. Watch out.
You do as well, good elder. What do you say? Full steam ahead.
Hi. You got some massive teeth for how small you are. Run. Never mind. There's always a bigger fish. That thing is horrifying. Yeah, that thing's scary as shit. That was scarier than the even like title monster for Sunbreak. That thing was really freaking scary. That is not the same thing. Okay. Your fur texture is cool though. You have a cool fur texture. All right, we have Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak: A Kingdom Savior, and then the announcement of it coming to other platforms. So we're trucking along. Oh, this is from, how recent is this one? This is from June of 2022.
Mind is consumed by darkness, and the land falls into chaos. The archdemon of the abyss shall rise from the earth.
They come
great.
rushing here in a desperate attempt to survive. Both beast and man have more in common than they think.
Same, Brittany. Man, they made that the shadow energy of some of these creatures, like this dark purplish energy, definitely did a great job of making it feel nefarious, right?
It can't be.
And these wandering flames shall feed the beast and return to darkness. The story ends.
Hey, Herfuxic, welcome in.
Begins. Wandering flames. I see you found your home.
Hey, they dodged that time. Watch out, and they got out of the way. They're learning.
This is for my fellow hunters. Let's go.
So cool. So cool. And then we have the latest announcement, which is that Monster Hunter Rise, up until this point, was available on PC through Steam. That released in January of 2022, and then it released initially exclusively to the Nintendo Switch in March of 2021. But come, what is this, January 20th, it'll be available on everything else. It's going to be available on PlayStation. It's going to be available on Xbox. It's also going to be available through Game Pass. So if you are a Xbox Game Pass subscriber, you will have access to Monster Hunter Rise through Game Pass. I do believe it is just Rise, though. I don't believe you get access to Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, the expansion. You will most likely have to buy that separately, but it does at least give you the opportunity to try the game if you want to. And this is the announcement for that.
This is for my fellow hunters.
It is coming to PlayStation. This is just the Xbox trailer, so. Supporting 4K. I believe the Steam version has 4K, but all the footage we saw was all Switch footage, so it looked much rougher than what you're seeing here.
Let's go for a ride.
Here comes the pain.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Another pre-order? Is there a new pre-order bonus? Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak in spring of 2023. Notably, though, as I mentioned, on this Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, the massive expansion, Game Pass is not on these icons up at the top. Series X, Xbox One, and Windows, whereas these other ones, it did have the Game Pass logo on it. So that's probably a good form of confirmation that if you do end up playing Monster Hunter Rise through Game Pass and you end up enjoying it, if you want to continue the journey into the very significantly sized expansion update Sunbreak, you will probably have to pay for that separately. And this downloadable content, this deluxe edition, will also not be included with the Game Pass version. I can just let you know right there. Okay, so that concludes our journey of seeing all of Monster Hunter Rise, and there was a lot to see. It's interesting because we should be actually seeing the next Monster Hunter game fairly soon. We should be starting to hear the ruminations and maybe the reveals of it fairly soon. Monster Hunter Rise will probably carry us through 2023, but I think we might actually see a Monster Hunter announcement maybe either at the end of 2023 at like the Tokyo Game Show or like the Game Awards, or maybe we'll see it in 2024. But we're starting to get to that point where Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak's already been out for a while. They're finishing up the title updates, which means that we should be seeing the next Monster Hunter game sometime soon. It's crazy because it doesn't even feel like World was that long ago, but World released in 2019, right? I'm actually really impressed with Capcom and the turnaround time that they've been having on these Monster Hunter games, especially because they're quality, right? They're cranking them out, but they're cranking them out in such a way that they're still really, really good. I would love to have a really solid group of people to play through Monster Hunter Rise with, because with my experience in Monster Hunter World, it's a game that is a lot more fun with friends, but my problem that I had with it is that playing it solo, the Monster Hunter World was really, really, really grindy, and it took a lot of time to progress. And then I had friends that had already went through the grind, and they just wanted to power level me through it, which also took away a lot of the fun. So, Rise, though. Or maybe the next Monster Hunter game. Athena, hi Athena. Oh, but the time. Oh man. So that said, that's Monster Hunter Rise. It will now be available on everything that you might have available to you to be able to play it on. I definitely, even not having played Monster Hunter Rise, I have heard enough things from people that I do trust their opinions in very much, and I played either with them in Monster Hunter World, or I just have been around their communities and stuff, that if you did want to give a Monster Hunter game a try, Monster Hunter Rise is a good entry point, because it does have a lot of quality of life changes. It's not nearly as grindy as Monster Hunter World was, and as we saw, it's got a lot of new fun movement mechanics and special abilities and things like, you know, wyvern riding and stuff. It is a very accessible and very entertaining game. So if you ever wanted to dip your toe into the Monster Hunter world, this is a good place to do so. Monster Hunter World is still available though. So if you did want to see like if you try Monster Hunter Rise, you're like, what could this look like if it was more? Monster Hunter World is an absolutely stunning game for you to potentially go check out as well. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you've already played Monster Hunter Rise, how did you find it? Did you enjoy it? If you disagreed with me at some point of like talking about the limitations of the Switch or the difference between World and Rise or the quality of life changes, hopefully you already typed out a comment during the progression of this video. But if not, now's your chance. Put your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we do stream on Twitch, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you do watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.